Hello again, everyone. Commish K7 here with your SRG Fantasy Football League Week 6 recap. Not only do we have the entire Week 6 in the books, there have been some interesting moves that I will get to in a moment. So, without further ado, let's get right to it. All right, so let's first things first. Let's pop that up and move me all the way down here. There we go. All right. As you can see, we have a couple close games. Not really too many blowouts. Like one blowout. A lot of close games. And yeah. So let's get right into it, shall we? Up first, we have the Sniper's Edge Darkstalkers versus the Moneymaker Dollar Boys. This one went back and forth through most of the match. But in the end, the Dollar Boys stave off a valiant effort by Aaron Rodgers to take this one 105.3 to 102.7. This one really could have gone either way depending on some management moves, but overall it came very, very close to an under 3-point victory. So I think this is actually our closest match of the week. So let's see what happened. Any big plays from the Darkstalkers? Well, Aaron Rodgers actually beat his expectations with a fantastic effort Monday night. McCaffrey had a very high projection, so unless he was gonna do McCaffrey things, probably wasn't gonna happen. But still, 21.7 on a bad day is pretty good. Keenan Allen did not come to play. Neither did Vance McDonald. Rams defense met expectations, and Joey Sly actually did pretty well. So, yeah, mostly average, two notable under average or below average players, and a couple good performances. Let's see what went right for the Dollar Boys. Dollar Boys, Matt Stafford did not have a good match, and that's the reason why Rodgers was almost able to take this one. But, yeah, Chris Carson went off. Anyone else? Redskins defense, they were facing Miami, so you knew they were going to score some points. But in the overall total, his wide receivers came to play, even though Michael Thomas didn't meet expectations. But yeah, overall that resulted in that really close margin of victory. So let's see if anything could have changed. Well, Darkstalkers could have definitely taken this one had they put in Alshon Jeffrey for either one of the wide receivers. So that's going to be biting me later. Miles Sanders would have been a slight improvement over Fournette, but not that much. And Devontae Parker would have been a good choice over Keenan Allen, but don't think anyone would have done that. Yep. And a couple goose eggs from Conley and Harris. Then again, Jacksonville didn't really have a good week. And Rashad Penny, he was doubtful for this week. So, and anyone for the Dollar Boys could have been better. Well, yeah, he could have thrown in Curtis Samuel and gotten a good score, but gotten a better score. Though that pretty much would have been an even split from Jeffrey to Samuel, but the margin in which Jeffrey would have gotten would have been a greater margin than what Samuel would have gotten. And overall, had I put in Jeffrey over either one of my wide receivers, I could have taken this one. But didn't. And in the end, Moneymakers took this one by the slimmest of margins. Kind of makes up for my win last week, I guess. All right, up next, we have Grumpy Groupies versus Thiel and Chubby. With Thiel and Chubby taking this one in a pretty solid 30, not 30, is it 30? Yep, 30, almost 30-point victory. With a score of 123.3 to 94.5 FM. Okay, let's see what happened. The Groupies, any notable performances? Ezekiel Elliott had a great performance against the Jets, beating his expectations. Let's see. Otherwise, not so much. Yeah, Dolphins. I could definitely understand putting them in against Washington, but unfortunately, Dolphins being the Dolphins, they didn't really do too well. Let me fix my mic for a second. There we go. Hopefully that comes in a little better. Kenny Galladay met his expectations. Johnson, not so much. Ertz, nope. Melvin Gordon, thinking that he might be taking over. looking to be a timeshare so far. All right, so yeah, that's what resulted in that. And Thielen Chubby continuing his winning ways. After taking the loss last week, came back strong this week with a lot of good performances. Nick Chubb rocked it. Adam Thielen beat his expectations. Matt Bryant kicked himself to 10 points. And Carson Wentz beaten expectations as well. See if anything could happen on the bench. Well, let's see. Well, could have got a little better wide receiver performance had he put in Ty Montgomery over Johnson. Not by much though, but Kirk Cousins left on the bench, which is not that surprising considering the Philadelphia defense. Yep, and no one else really would have been a better choice. So, yeah, Thielen was going to take this one no matter what. Next up, we have Erie Kugarachi Roach versus Pretty Boy Snow, with Pretty Boy Snow taking it by a 17-point margin of victory with a score of 87.1 to 70.8. Erie is kind of falling back to earth a bit, and yeah, let's see what happened. Yeah, Russell Wilson beat expectations, and also Julian Edelman and DeAndre Hopkins also put in good performances. However, the Atlanta defense, they would have been better off not showing up. And also along with a 0 from Wayne Gallman. Yeah, you would think that with Barkley out, Gallman would have been the main guy, but apparently he got hurt too. Lucky him. So yeah, this was pretty much hurting from the start. And yeah, and because of that, Pretty Boy Snow made off with the lowest winning score of the week. Let's see how well he would have done. Let's see how well his team did. Devonta Freeman, great job. Eckler, timeshare now. Cup, nope. Is the Cooper Cup magic did not come to play in this one. Kiki Kuti met expectations. George Kittle met expectations. Ravens he pretty much had a team that simply met expectations and was able to get a solid win. See if Erie could have done any better. Yeah, putting in the Niners defense against the Rams would have been a much better choice. If we'd gotten them 16 more points, would have been enough to close the gap. Jameis Winston, no. Bernard would have been a better choice than Gallman. Sanu, Auden Tate, he had a good game this week. But then again, his starting wide receivers were already better. Let's see, for Snow, if anything could have happened. Well, Barkley's about to come back, so these zeros won't be zeros no more. Cam Newton, still out. Jackson, still out. Looks like putting in Aguilar putting in Aguilar would have been a better choice than Kupp, but with the way Kupp's been playing, wouldn't have happened. But all things considered, Snow pretty much would have had this no matter what, with a score of, but we took it 87.1 to 70.8. Match 4. We have Greensburg Honor, fresh off on a two-game winning streak, facing off against the Shaggy Sharks. But like most streaks, they come to an end eventually, and the Shaggy Sharks take this one 108.8 to 89.3. Let's see what happened. See what happened for Honor. Austin Hooper, great performance, but can't really say that about anyone else on his team. Let's see, and the Sharks, on the other hand, they had a adequate performance with their main standout being the Patriots defense leading the way. I think that's the first time the defense has actually been the top scorer on a team. I could be wrong. Feel free to correct me in the comments. Go right ahead. All right, but either way, definitely meeting expectations was more than enough to take this one. So let's see if anything could have been better. Not Mariota, not Cardinals. Mark Andrews would have not been an improvement. Great score by him, but nope. Juju, no. He seems to be going downhill a bit. But prime comeback candidate for the second half of the season. Let's see. Anyone on Shaggy could have helped? Nope. He pretty much played his best lineup. So, yep, either way, Shaggy Sharks take this one 108.8 to 89.3. Up next, we have Big Guys Gunners versus Team Brooks, where Team Brooks taking this one 129.1 to 97.4 in the battle of the mid-tiers. So, yeah, let's see what happened. For the Gunners, great performance by Matt Ryan, along with a very good performance by Mike Evans. However, those were the sole bright spots of this entire team for this week. Disley getting hurt. So that knocked him out. That knocked him out of the game pretty early and torpedoed what could have been 11 points. However, on Team Brooks, we had a few players do really well, with Lamar Jackson dropping 30, David Johnson dropping 28, and Chris Godwin. The battle between the Tampa Bay wide receivers, both of them doing well, with Godwin slightly edging it out, and Brandon McManus knocking out 13 points from the kicker spot. All right, anyone on the bench could have helped. Probably on this team. Matt Breida would have been a better choice. Adrian Peterson had his first good game of the year. Jason Witten would have been a better choice in retrospect. Packers defense would have been slightly better than Dem Boys. Kyle Allen, nah, not beating Matt Ryan, even though he did put up a decent performance. However, Robbie Anderson with a phenomenal performance, dropping 25 points now that Sam Darnold doesn't have mono anymore and hopefully won't die if he gets tackled. However, on Team Brooks, could have actually had a better quarterback if he started Kyler Murray over Lamar Jackson. Even though Jackson put up 30 points, Murray put up 35. Anyone else? Well, any of his Mecole Hardman would have been a better choice than Amari Cooper, who's had 2 really bad weeks in a row. But, Snell, nope. Chase Edmonds, nope, even though it's solid performance. But either way, Brooks probably would have had this one regardless. And he takes this one 129.1 to 97.4. Match 6. Lost count. Match 6. We have our blowout match of the week with Metropolis Kryptonite coming out strong. Taking the match against the Planet Hulk World Breakers 128.7 to 69.5. Oof. Wow. So yeah, let's see what went right for the Kryptonite. Kryptonite, Deshaun Watson rocking it. James Conner rocking it. Not so good performance by Joe Mixon, but McLaurin, great performance. Chark, not so good this week. But again, New Orleans has a decent defense. Jared Cook finally gets a good score on the board. Lions defense, meh. Will Lutz, met expectations. And let's see what went wrong on Planet Hulk. Relying on Kansas City. Mahomes, decent performance. However, none of it went to Demarcus Robinson. Mostert, nope, taking the backseat to Breida. Hillman, taking the shot with both Barkley and Gallman out. Hillman, however, pretty much what you would expect for a third string running back. In fact, I think they actually waived him after this game. Scantling, no. Rodgers did a great job, just not really throwing it to Scantling, though. Broncos defense dropping a 20. And Jake Elliott beating expectations. See if anything could have changed. Probably not. Nothing's going to be making up that margin, though. Had he started Tyreek Hill, he might have been able to close it a little bit more instead of, say, Robinson. Yep, not nearly enough to beat the 60-point margin, but still would have been a better score. And being that playoff seeding is determined by points for, that's something you got to watch out for. Anything else? Nah, nothing really. And our final match of the week, the Columbus Rebels versus the Parts Unknown, the Secchi, in a very close match. A lot closer than what one would have thought looking at the lineups. With, let's see, Columbus Rebels had, this one hurt. This one hurt to watch because I saw it coming. Rivers, decent performance. Stefan Diggs. This is where the big score player resided. He was on the Columbus Rebels this week, dropping almost 50 points with a 46.5. However, the rest of his team decided that they didn't want to play football today, with Todd Gurley and Steven Hashuka either hurt or on a bye. And putting in Golden Tate would have been enough. Putting in Jarvis Landry, not so much. Well, then putting in Golden Tate for DK Metcalf would have been enough. Did he have any running backs that could have fit in? Yes, he did. Jordan Howard. And take a look at the score. Had he replaced him, he would have won. So let's see what went right for the Secchi. Secchi, pretty much a standard performance. Meeting expectations across the board with a low score from Thompson, but made up for with the Panthers defense. So yeah, he pretty much met the projected. He almost nailed the projected total right on the head. Anyone else could have been better? Baker Mayfield slightly better, though. Definitely putting Brady over Baker. Anyone else? Yeah, Jamal Williams had a game. Much better option than Thompson, but then again, Thompson's at least at a timeshare. Jamal Williams, not as much, especially with Jones there. Ito Smith not so good, so yeah, he pretty much put in almost his best lineup aside from the one running back. But yeah, yep. The Secchi takes this one with a 3-point margin of victory, 99.9 to 96.2. So let's take a look at our couple of our quick awards. Our top score of the week goes to Team Brooks with a 129.1. That is our top score of the week. Let's see, our highest losing score of the week goes to, what do you know? It's me. With the 102, with my 102.7 being the highest losing score for all the teams this week. And what is our lowest winning score? Why, that would be Pretty Boy Snow, sneaking in an 87.1 to take his 5th victory against Iri Kukaracha Roach. As I said, 90% of the game is like 90% of the game is luck, just depending on who you face each week, with the remaining being a combination of everything else. Disagree with me if you want. That's my opinion. So yeah, and our closest margin of victory would be Sniper's Edge, Darkstalkers, and Moneymaker. We had actually a couple close matches this week. We had a 3.7 point victory over for Parts Unknown and the Rebels. Anyone else close to that? Nope. Yeah, this is under 3 points. So Moneymaker's taking this one by the skin of their teeth, which kind of makes up for my close win last week. So, okay. Now, let's take a look at the current standings. With our current standings being couple changes this week, given the scores. Thielen Chubby solidifying his grip on first place with the loss of my team. So it's Thielen Chubby, followed by Shaggy Sharks, followed by Moneymaker Dollar Boys, followed by Sniper's Edge, Darkstalkers, Planet Hulk, still dropping, followed by Metropolis Kryptonite coming back, and Greensburg Honor bringing up the rear. And Rude Brood's group, we got Pretty Boy Snow with a 2-game lead, followed by a tie with Team Brooks and Grumpy Groupies, followed by Big Guys Gunners, Parts Unknown the Secchi, and Iri Kukaracha Roach, with the Columbus Rebels bringing up the rear. Let's see if anything changes in the points for. Thielen Chubby taking the lead now, followed by Shaggy Sharks and Moneymaker. Columbus Rebels still bringing up the rear, with the gap widening. Now let's see see if anything changed here. Well, we got Pretty Boy Snow with the easiest schedule so far, and Moneymaker having the toughest schedule so far, pulling out the wins. Any moves? Oh, no surprise. Grumpy Groupie is still holding the lead in there, followed by Gunners and Roach. Roach taking second, followed by Pretty Boy Snow, and then a tie for the next spot with Darkstalkers and Brooks. And then we have the rest of them. So there you go for that. Let's take a look at the projected playoff bracket, if it actually loads this time. And it does! So, right now, our current playoff bracket, if the season ended today, would be Thielen Chubby with the number 1 seed, Pretty Boy Snow with the number 2 seed, followed by Shaggy Sharks in number 3. Number 4 is Moneymaker. Number 5 is Sniper's Edge. And number 6 is Planet Hulk. Though, if he keeps this up, not looking too good. So, okay. Let's go back to our... Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Standings scoreboard. All right, let's take a look at next week. We have a big matchup between Planet Hulk Worldbreakers and Sniper's Edge. We also have Pretty Boy Snow versus the Moneymaker Dollar Boys. Both teams off of some pretty close victories. We got Shaggy Sharks versus Thielen Chubby. We also got Team Brooks versus the Grumpy Groupies. Parts Unknown the Seki versus Eerie Cucaracha Roach. We have Metropolis Kryptonite against Greensburg Honor. Division battle. And finally, we have the Columbus Rebels versus the Big Guys Gunners. Let's see if he's able to put in more players this week. So, according to our current projections, our highest score of the week is projected to be the Moneymaker Dollar Boys with a 114.5. And apparently, this is probably going to be our highest. Well, actually, nope, never mind. Scratch that. Thielen Chubby actually has a 118, projected 118 against a 111.6. So we're gonna have a couple projected to be close games on our hands. Sniper's Edge and Planet Hulk. Planet Hulk's with a good score, but Sniper's Edge, I believe, yes. Right, this is the week where Christian McCaffrey is on a bye. Lucky Hulk. So we'll see how things turn out there. Our we got a low scoring matchup with Parts Unknown versus Erie, and right now Columbus Rebels is slated to be our lowest score of the week. Who is our current highest player projected? By the way, Barkley's back, or looking to be back this week, either this week or next week. He's a game time decision. But let's see, Mahomes 24.6. Anyone coming close to that? Russell Wilson also with a 24.6. And Matt Ryan with a 24.1. So, there you go. Game lines. Currently we have Planet Hulk with minus 25. Minus 2 for the Moneymakers. Minus 6.4 for Thielen. Minus 5.5 for Brooks. Minus 2.3 for the Seki. Minus 5.9 for Greensburg. Greensburg with a projected win over what was a high-scoring Kryptonite match. And minus 34.5 for the Big Guys Gunners over the Rebels. So yeah, that's it for the next week projection. Let's get on to what I wanted to mention. We have a veritable hurricane of trades going on. So yeah, we got a lot of moves going on. Rather than making a separate post for it, I'm just including it in this one. First, we have, let's see, our first trade accepted in this blob of trades would be the Big Guys Gunners traded Matt Breida to the Metropolis Kryptonite for Tyler Lockett. So we got the running backs are being moved for Lockett. Next, we have a big trade with Groupies throwing trades all over the place. Groupies throwing away AJ Green, Zach Ertz, and Marquise Brown for Terry McLaurin and the Bills defense. It's tough to lose Ertz, but we'll see why in a moment. But getting McLaurin is having a good season on a crappy team. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. And so yeah, we also have Grumpy Groupies trading Kenny Galladay and Hunter Henry for George Kittle and Randall Cobb. So that's basically unloading all his tight ends for one of the better tight ends. Up next, we have Greensburg Honor trading Juju Smith-Schuster to the Metropolis Kryptonite for Gardner Minshew and Joe Mixon. So with a down season for Juju, getting a good quarterback and a underperforming running back. So we'll see how this trade turns out. And we also have Thielen Chubby moving James White to the Metropolis Kryptonite for Robert Woods. So yeah, and you know what? Let's have some fun. I'm gonna push them through. Let's review all these trades here. Pulled trade, boom. Oh, bugger. Let me just get this off for a moment. Whoop. I think that's my password. There we go. Right. I forgot I had to log in before doing that. So yeah, let's get off of that. And recent activity. Let's go right back to it. Trade accepted. Let's yep. Review. Let's review this one. Yep, I haven't gotten... Actually, no, I got one veto on one trade. I'm not going to say who it was, and I'm not going to say which trade it was for. But everything else seems to be going pretty well, so let's let's just push them through. Because I'm awesome like that. There you go, and you can hear my phone going off every time I accept one of these. Review, 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 and spoop. There you go. Rather than waiting till tomorrow, like for the usual 2-day delay. Enjoy. Just make sure that nothing else is going through. Yep, there you go. Enjoy. I pushed them through. Get your lineups ready. And there you go. For those who tuned in, thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you again next time. May the rolls ever be in your favor. Peace.